Have you ever asked yourself what love truly is? Not the initial rush of excitement, not the feeling of having someone by your side to fill an emptiness, and not simply the idea of finding the other half of yourself. I have spent nearly 20 years experiencing, breaking down, and observing both myself and others just to search for an answer to that question. And along the way, I realized something unsettling. The faster society develops, the more lightly we seem to treat love.
We are often pulled into a form of selfishness without even realizing it. People come together for personal benefits, for the expectations they place on one another, for what the other person can provide, rather than for a genuine desire to walk side by side on a long journey. Gradually, love turns into a subtle transaction, give and take, while quietly losing the purity it once had. In this video, I want to share a different perspective on love, not to judge what is right or wrong, but to invite us to look deeper, because at our core, human beings are born to learn how to love.
Love, by nature, is sacred and profound. It moves us, makes us want to live more fully, yet it is also capable of making us lose ourselves in desire, expectation, and emotional wounds. Today, many people unconsciously treat love as an exchange of personal needs. Women may seek a man who can take care of their lives, protect them, and always be there. Men may look for women who are attractive, desirable, or who can become a wife capable of taking care of the family. I do not believe these desires are wrong, but when needs outweigh understanding, when expectations replace companionship, love begins to lose its inherent beauty. I often hear people say, love has to be win-win. So let's pause for a moment and think. If love begins with emotion, why do we turn it into a battlefield, a transaction where both sides must gain something? Is that truly the nature of love, or is it our fear of being at a disadvantage? To me, win-win in love is not about material exchange. It is about growing together, evolving together, and becoming better versions of ourselves in the presence of one another. According to Carl Jung's psychoanalytic theory, within every human being exist two fundamental psychological principles: anima, the feminine aspect within a man's psyche, and animus, the masculine aspect within a woman's psyche. In other words, each of us carries both masculine and feminine qualities, only the balance differs from person to person. When we meet someone who feels like destiny or like the other half, it is often because we are projecting our own anima or animus onto them. That person appears to embody qualities we long for, but have not yet recognized or fully lived within ourselves. This is why Jung emphasized that love only matures when we stop projecting and begin accepting the other person as they truly are. Otherwise, what we love is merely an ideal image we have created, and when that image collapses, we think love has ended, when in truth, we are simply disappointed that the other person no longer plays the role we unconsciously assigned to them. At that point, it becomes easy to confuse loving another person with loving our own ego. As I mentioned in a previous video about the 3 stages of love, the first stage can be described as 1 + 1 = 1, a phase where projection and illusion are at their strongest. We feel the other person is the one because they are filling an inner void. But remember this. Every individual is a world of their own. So here is a question worth asking yourself honestly. If this person never changes, would I still choose to stay? From a Buddhist perspective, love is also a journey of returning inward. The Buddha taught, reflect back upon yourself. Do not seek fulfillment from others. This means illuminating the inner world instead of endlessly searching for happiness outside, because ultimately, love is not merely about having one another. It is about understanding, compassion, and awakening.
Both depth psychology and contemplative practice lead us to the same destination, self-understanding. When we are no longer driven by the unconscious, no longer obscured by ignorance, love does not need to be abandoned. Instead, it becomes a spiritual practice in everyday life. Love then becomes fertile ground for transforming the mind, a mirror reflecting our karmic patterns, and a space where we learn forgiveness, understanding, and compassion. Love does not stand outside the path. It is the path itself, revealed through every relationship. One who understands this does not avoid love, but loves without suffering, connects without attachment. At that point, win-win no longer means you give me this and I give you that. It means I become a mirror through which you can see yourself more clearly, and you become a mirror that helps me awaken to who I truly am. If you are in a relationship or if you are on a journey of understanding yourself through love, remember this: love is not meant to make you lose yourself, but to help you return to yourself. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and leave your perspective on love, because we do not need to love more. We need to love more consciously.